Welcome back, everyone, to Paradigm. Today, we're making history with our youngest guest ever, and not just by a little bit. At only 13 years old, Rateel from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, has already taken the world of social media by storm. Rateel is an inspiring example of how age is just a number when it comes to chasing your dreams. Let's dive straight into this incredible journey and find out what it takes to be such a massive impact at such a young age. Rateel, thank you so much for coming over today.
It's really nice to be here. I love the studio so much.
Thank you. I'm sure it makes you feel very comfortable, I think.
Exactly.
It's very warm.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, I'm finally interviewing someone that's younger than me. This is a very, I don't know, weird feeling, but I'm so excited as well to have you here.
Yeah.
Because you've honestly accomplished so much in your life. You're only 13, right?
You're also one of the youngest hosts. All the people that interview me are usually also older.
Yeah.
So you're also young.
I'm the youngest host you've had so far, probably.
Yeah.
Yay. We got this.
We're both the youngest in something.
Yes, exactly. But it's kind of annoying sometimes when I do my job, and on a daily basis I do get comments, especially because I do look younger than my age as well.
Yeah, you
And
do.
I actually wanted to talk to you about this in this podcast today. It gets kind of annoying when people start judging you based on your age,
Exactly. They think you can't do anything because you're 13 or you're 25. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're still young. What are you going to get to the table? What are you going to give us?
Literally.
They're like, you're 13. 2 years ago, you were 11 or something. I'm like, okay, age is just a number. They shouldn't judge us because our age.
Listen to me.
They just listen to me, and you will not feel like you're talking to a 25-year-old or a 13-year-old.
Exactly. Don't just judge my work. Don't judge me at this point. The other day I was filming a Jitex, and one of the marketing, managers came over. She's like, you're going to be filming with a C-suit. So are you okay? Are you sure you can do this? And I'm like, it's my job. I've been doing it for the past 7 years, but thank you for the compliment of thinking that I'm younger than I am. But
I mean, it's sad how they think that we can't do any. They think younger people they can't give the same thing as older people. When in reality, it's not true. Us younger people are better than some older people in mindsets.
Of course.
So you can't really judge.
Anyways, to start off our podcast, tell me, you're born and raised in Jeddah, right?
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Beautiful. Tell me a little bit about that. How did your childhood look like?
I probably had one of the most amazing childhoods ever. I always go through the photos. I'm like, oh, I miss this so much. I was born in Riyadh, the capital city of Saudi Arabia, and my mom's family, she lives in Riyadh, but she got married to my dad who lives in Jeddah, so we all moved to Jeddah. And when I was a baby, I used to maybe live in Riyadh for 6 months, and then I came to Jeddah. And I don't really remember when I was that young, but I remember it always I used to live in this apartment where every single floor is a family member. So every single day,
beautiful.
Family was coming. I was going up, and I always go to Riyadh to see my cousins. I'd go to school. I'd have so much fun. And then I got 2 brothers. Ahmed is, how old is he? 11, and then Salman is 8.
Nice.
I don't know, 8, yeah. And yeah, they get annoying at some points. They eat my stuff. They take my stuff, but I like them sometimes.
I feel like you're gonna have protection when you grow up. Now it's a bit rough, and then puberty's gonna hit them. But I think when you all get older, it's gonna be like you have 2 protectors next to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, regarding school now. You go to school, or you're too smart for that?
I go to school. I'm actually not smart, actually.
No, come on. There's street smart and there's academic smart, but I feel like the smartness we get at school is something completely different from the smartness we get when we actually start living life, right?
Exactly. I'm English smart, not math smart. If you tell me to do an equation,
same.
I'll be like, what is this? If you tell me to write an essay, I'll be happy to do it for you.
Literally.
Math equation, I can't do that.
Give me all the poetry, annotations, essays. I'm going to be doing it from day.
This is very embarrassing, but in my math test, it was so hard. I got an 8 out of 40.
8 out of 40. Listen,
and my mom is so mad about it.
Mom is in the studio watching.
But to be fair, everyone some people got 4 out of 40. It was really hard. It was really hard.
No, but listen, it's normal. I've had such grades.
Okay. I'll become better, Mama. You don't need to get mad.
Exactly. But listen, when I tell people, I speak 5 languages, but...
Oh, yeah, you do.
Maths and numbers, don't ask me anything because,
exactly,
my image is going to be ruined in your eyes immediately.
Exactly.
And everybody makes fun of me, my family.
What languages do you speak?
So basically, I'm Serbian, right?
Yeah.
So there's Serbian. I was born in Moscow, so Russian. And then I went into English international schools my whole life, so English was my 3rd language. And then at the age of 11, I started Spanish. And at the age of 16, I moved to Italy, so I got Italian as well.
I love Spanish. I really want to learn Spanish.
Oh, it's a beautiful language.
And it's also easy to learn it as an English speaker, I've heard.
Exactly. I mean, Italian was much harder, I feel like, because there's a lot of more like Latin words and like articles and stuff. Spanish is like simplified, and there's a lot of English words with
like,
an S in the end.
Pants, I think they pantalon.
Pantalones.
Yeah.
Sí. So you just add an ES in the end of most words, and it makes it a Spanish word. But
I need to start learning Spanish.
And also like 70% of like America speaks Spanish, I think. So like it's a language that's very well spoken around the world, and it's a helpful, let's say, language to have, I think.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But you know what's cool about it is also like, since language is all grouped up, like for example, since I speak Serbian and Russian, it's easy for me to understand like Slavic languages, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Whether it's Polish or Ukrainian or like Czech. And then you have Spanish and Italian, so you understand Latin languages. Like I just came back from Brazil and I understood maybe 70% of Portuguese. So I feel like the more languages you learn, like the more you just understand other.
That's beautiful. I really want to learn. I'm just stuck in Arabic and English.
Arabic is hard though.
Arabic is so hard. I'm Saudi and I have like struggles like reading and writing, but like I talk the slang Arabic, not like the perfect Arabic.
Okay.
Like what I could speak Arabic, and I also like understand different dialogues of Arabic. I can understand Egyptian Arabic but not speak it. I can understand Lebanese Arabic.
Okay.
But
they sound different completely?
They sound different completely.
Okay.
Like they really do sound different. It's like two different languages. No, they don't completely, but just sometimes.
Like alphabet is the same.
Alphabet is the same. The writing is the same. Just how you speak it and how you say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there could be different words completely.
Yeah, like let's say in Egyptian Arabic, you say water differently, and then here in Saudi Arabic, you say water differently. Like there are some words that are completely different, but...
How would you say water?
In Saudi, نقول موية.
Moya?
Moya. And in Egyptian, I have no idea actually how they say it.
All right.
And like mai, I don't know. Maya.
So there's
differences.
Moya and Maya.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a nice word though.
Yeah.
I have to start learning Arabic. It's on my to-do list.
Yes.
First time I live in a country and I don't speak the language of the country, so I'm like, the OCD inside of me is just like getting anxious
but
about
just
it.
very, very hard. Like if I was never like born as a Saudi and like not, surrounded by people that speak Arabic, I would have never learned it because it's really that hard. But like if you really like want to and like, force yourself and you're like, okay, I'll do it, then it's probably easy. It just takes a longer time.
I'll text you. You can be my teacher.
Yes, I'll be your teacher.
And then we're going to do the next podcast in Arabic, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Anyways, do you have any role models in life?
Yeah, I definitely do have role models. One of my biggest role models is my mom.
Aww. Mom was in the studio.
Yeah, she's a role model to me because some people my age and kids my age they have so much. They're probably even better than me, and they have so much to say, so much to do, and they can't do it because their parents they're not really supportive of it. So for me, if my mom wasn't supportive and also my dad, if they weren't helpful and supportive, I would have never come here because at the end of the day, I'm still 13. I would have not been able to do all this myself. Yes, I came up with the idea to make a podcast, but she helped me with the research. She helped me, film my videos in my room. She helped my brothers to be quiet when I'm filming because, when you're recording, there has to be no sound. She helped me with a lot of stuff, and she's, encouraged me, and she's, like, helped me deal with bullies and stuff because everything you do and everywhere you go, there's bullies. So she helped me deal with it and stuff. So, yeah, she's one of my biggest role models.
That's super cute.
It's really awkward for me to say that, but, like, still.
No, why? You should speak your heart.
Yeah.
But, tell me, do you get bullied?
Online and real life, yes, I do. In online especially more because, some people are scared to do it in real life. But I got bullied online. They're like, you always speak English or you're not proud to be Saudi. You think you're so much older. Why do you act older? It's not that I act older, just my mindset is older than yours. That doesn't mean I act older.
Yeah.
You should higher your standards.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand. And in real life, in school, yeah, I do get bullied. They're like, look at her. She thinks she's so cool. Like, she thinks she's that girl. Like,
jealousy all around.
Exactly.
But it's normal. It means you're doing something right,
Yeah, if you don't have haters, that means you're doing it wrong. Because people are jealous of you.
Of course. But would you say that you always have this confident mindset, or did they actually manage to bring you down?
At all. I'm not always confident, but I try to be confident. But, like, I obviously sometimes I get hurt. I'm like, oh, why is she saying that? Like, but, like, most of the time, I'm confident because I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
So, why would I not be confident? But at the same time, it hurts, but I can't ignore it. I forget about them. So
Right. Would you say that, with this confidence that you gain with time, would you say that, your immunity just grows, and in the future you're going to be as supportive to the younger girls that are passing through what you're passing through now?
exactly, yeah, of course. Because I feel like let's say I'm older, and I would understand how they feel because I went through it too. And I would obviously, be more helpful with them. I'd give them more tips, and I'd be really helpful because, bullying hurts. And like, no matter how much you tell people to stop bullying you, they won't. Bullying is a thing probably people will never stop, and you can't do anything about it. But what you can do is just ignore them, and you just know that they're just jealous, and maybe the bullies who bully you, they're going through something themselves. You never know why they're bullying you. They might just want attention, they might be jealous of you, or they might be going through something, and
Of course.
it's maybe they're just acting what they have at home. Maybe at home their parents, they bully them too, so they just take it out on other people.
Exactly.
So you never know.
But would you say you have a lot of friends? Or you have a close group of people that
I
you
actually
trust?
have a lot of friends, but I'm like closer, and I trust a few group of people.
Okay.
I try to not, I really like making friends. Like, I love making friends. Like, I'm so sad that I couldn't make friends in Dubai right now because in my hotel there's no one my age. It's all like either couples or older people.
Right.
There's no one my age.
No, you have me. I'm your friend in Dubai.
Okay, you're my friend.
Whenever you're here, I'll be more than happy to go grab a lunch.
Okay, but like, yeah, I like making friends, but I definitely have like my circle where
Okay.
I'm closest to the people.
And you trust them, and
I trust them,
they're
yeah.
your support system at the end of the day.
Exactly, yeah.
Because of course you can get it from your family and from the older people, but it's nice to see someone that's your age also giving you that
can
support,
understand
right?
and relate to you more.
Yeah. What do you do for fun? I mean, do you have like time to do anything like hobbies, sports?
Yeah.
Or you're just working after school and then...
As much as you think that, like, you see me on camera, online, being this positive person, talking all the time. But in reality, I'm also a teenager. I go out to the mall, I go shopping. Me and my friends, like, we laugh over, like, silly stuff. Like, I'm a normal teenage girl. But the only thing that's not normal is I prioritize my future and fun at the same time. Some people, they only prioritize fun, which I understand. You want to have fun, but at the same time, you have to start looking for in the future. So what I do differently is I also, focus about the future, which I think everyone should start doing because, you don't want to turn, like, you want to, when you're older, you don't want to finish college and be like, now what? What do I do now?
There's so many people, like,
There's
even
so
like
many
my
people.
age that don't know what they want to do in life.
Exactly.
They're just lost.
And you want to know what you want to, like, have your life set. Not as a young age. I'm not saying you should set your life at 13. I don't even know where I'm going to be tomorrow, the next day or so.
Yeah.
But you just at least know you're going on the correct path.
At least set some goals.
At least set some goals. Priorities also.
Do you dream one day of, going to university and taking that path? Or do you think your career is just going to blossom once you finish, high school and you wouldn't have the need to go to, like, further academics?
For me personally, I think school is very important. Like, I think education is really important. And I really do want to go to college, university. I've always, like, dreamed of having the college life, the American school life, how it is. I can imagine, yeah. But, I really want to go to college, but some people, like, they only prioritize school and not things outside of school. Like, yes, school is important, but sometimes you have to have something outside of school. Like, for me, I'm not smart in school. So I have another thing that when I finish college, I could work on, if you know what I mean. Like,
earn your money from, because at the end of the day, that's what's important, right?
Exactly. And I don't want, I don't want myself and my future generation or people just in general just to be in a, office 24/7 sending emails. That's all they do. I want you to be the boss of yourself. You be the consumer. Don't be the follower. And it's important that you can be the boss of yourself. Imagine you're the boss of yourself. Just how amazing it would be.
Of course.
Exactly. And also, I want some people to work something that they actually like. Some people, they just work for the salary, which I understand. Everyone wants money. But why can't you get money while you do something you love?
Of course.
Which is something I want to, I want everyone to start doing, which I also want to do myself. Like, I'm doing something I love. I'm making money at a young age, and I'm also older. I'm pretty sure you like talking, of course. You like doing this, and you're making money.
Exactly.
So, something...
I completely feel you, because I picked that, path in my life, and I go to work with a smile every day. I don't even have an alarm clock, and I think that's so important. But so many times when people ask us, like, or actually when they look at my life and they look at, the podcast and this and that, like, you're so lucky. Oh, you're this. It's hard work. You've actually built that path for yourself. When I was your age, I was like literally making my own movies at home and having my family as like my main like protagonists in the story and just filming and like creating clips out of it. Of course, like social media wasn't that popular at the time, so I didn't know where to post it. But I made movie nights, I made theater nights, and I would perform, and so it was always part of me. It was always there, and you work on it, and then eventually
so you always had it when you were younger. You just made it to real life. You like worked on it.
Exactly. So I don't really get when people say, oh, you're so lucky, because
it's hard work, actually.
It's very much hard work. Of course, thank you to the parents and thank you to, my mother and my father who've invested so much into me and into my education. And thanks to them, I am where I am today. But you need to have that drive. And that's exactly what you're talking about. You need to have that curiosity that, I am my own boss and I will control where my life is going to be, right?
Yeah, because some bosses they treat you really bad.
Oh, most.
Like you're like most of them. Like you're really lucky to have you would be very lucky if you have a good boss.
Of course.
Because like some bosses, I'm sorry if you're a boss watching this, by the way, but some bosses they just like they think that they're the leader. Like you do this, do that. Like
and
that.
I mean, they are leaders, but there's a difference between being a toxic leader.
Yeah, they're leading you in a bad.
Exactly.
They're leading you in a bad way. There are leaders who are like, hey, can you please send me this? I understand you're the boss, but no, like who do you think you are? You should go get me my coffee. You should go get me this. Like I'm not paid to get you coffee. I'm paid to do this and this and this. So.
Right. Or they overpower you in some moments. But I can't wait to meet you in 10 years and hear your stories.
Yes.
Although maybe you will never have a boss, you'll be your own boss. You never know.
Never know.
But yeah, stories like this very much do exist, especially like in the media world and everything. It tends to get very toxic, unfortunately. Anyways, let's get down to business, Rateel. Rateel Alpha Talks. I have as like big letters on my notes.
Yes.
Your homie podcast. Tell me a little bit about that. How did that start? Where did you get the idea? All good things start in a basement or in a garage, Was it you as well? Like you had your room, right? You had your camera. How did you kick it off?
At first, I did not even know what a podcast was.
Really?
Really. Maybe I started my podcast when I was 12, actually. So before I even had a podcast, I used to do like advertisements and stuff, and I didn't like the content they would give us. They didn't give us something that would fit my standards.
But you would act in the advertisements, or you would make them?
I would act in them. There's a director, the client. Let's say it's an ad for, let's say, a milk or a clothes or a company brand, whatever it is, and I would be the actor. But I just didn't like how they didn't put much roles for us. I'm like, do I really want to keep doing advertisements? That's not where I don't see myself doing advertisements.
You're just looking pretty in front of the camera. That's it. Yeah.
Exactly. And some clips I don't even look pretty. So what's the point? So I was like, I'm gonna make my own.
Yeah, literally.
So in some, I'm gonna make.
You make me look ugly, and I cannot talk.
Exactly. They pick me the ugliest things. I'm like, in my little 2 ponytails, I'm like looking like this. Like that's not what I want. Where I see myself. So I start seeing.
You're funny.
Thank you. I think about me when someone jokes or something. I can't stop laughing. Okay.
You laugh at your own jokes?
I laugh at my own jokes. It's pretty bad. Sometimes I laugh at my jokes and no one ever does. Like
no one
I'm saying a joke and my friends don't laugh, but I laugh. But
oh, trust me, I do the same. It's fine.
It's okay.
As long as we're entertaining ourselves and that other people, we're good.
Exactly. Anyways, as I was saying, I was like, I'm going to make my own content because I've always had love for creating content and I've always loved being content. Like, as I said, I was making movies with my cousins and my brothers. I remember I made a movie called Once Upon a Death where, I was like 8-9 years old.
Okay.
My cousin was the director and I was the actor, the everything. I would do the makeup, I would write the script, and then I would edit it, me and my cousins. Like I would even give my brothers money from my own money, like 5 riyals. I'm like, I'll give you this if you act for me in the movie. They're like,
I'll give you chocolate.
Yeah, I'll give you chocolate. It got to the point my mom was like, stop bribing them with stuff.
I had the same thing going on in my family.
Yeah, so I just loved making
cry on camera, and I would be like, come on,
why are you doing this?
It's the last scene.
Yeah, my mom would get mad at me because sometimes I would hit them if they don't do it.
Yeah, same. I feel
it's
you. But
siblings
it's
love.
part of that, exactly.
part
It's
of
part
that.
of the siblings' love, but it's part of that vision that I have for this movie, and you guys have to act it in the best possible.
And I'm really mad at my mom. I tell her what she used to do. I used to tell her, Mama, I'm doing a movie, and she's like, okay, send me the movie. I'll put it on Netflix. I used to get so excited. I used to do the movie, edit it, and like, yalla, Mama, where is it on Netflix? Me and my cousins were like preparing our pajamas and movie night. We're like opening Netflix. We think our movie's gonna show up there.
Oh, really? But you see, dream big.
It did not.
Yeah, but dream big. This is you manifest.
Exactly, we manifest it.
Maybe the story of your life is going to go out on Netflix in 5 years, You never know.
You never know.
Quite frankly, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, but I don't think the movie me and my cousin made will be on Netflix. It's very bad.
Yeah.
My mom's in the background fighting with my other brother. She's like, hey, why did you not do this? And then like she's calling my dad, when did you do this? Like,
but listen, scenes from that could be placed in your, autobiography or something.
You never know, actually. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
So tell me, what type of guests do you bring to your podcast? Did you have like a favorite guest so far? I know you didn't have me yet, so...
But it would have to be. It would be
I'm
so
joking.
cool.
Oh, did you have any favorites, like person that came in and you just were super happy to have them?
Yeah, I've had a couple of guests. I actually like enjoy spending times with all of my guests. Like one guest, his name is Dr. Amr Awadallah. He's so smart that even Saudi gave him they gave them the Saudi passport to be a Saudi citizen.
Where's he from originally?
He's originally from Egypt, and he's like studied in Harvard and stuff. And then another another guest I had was he's like meditation. He's like also like
spiritual.
Like stuff like he also studied in Harvard, I believe, or Stanford. I'm not sure. And who else did I have? I had like so many guests. Yeah, I had guests.
Amazing. Do you learn every stuff from each and every one of them? Of course.
Sometimes when I'm like writing, because like when you're having a guest, you don't say stuff. You just write the questions and stuff you want to ask them.
Talking points.
Exactly, like saying the points. But I learned a lot from them. Like from one episode, Dr. Amal said, some amputees who don't have arm, like there's this thing in AI. Where you could move your hand even though you're not wearing the hand. The hand could be moving in another room, and you could, let's say
you think about moving
it, and it moves even if it's in another room, which is something I was like so shocked when I learned about. I was like, what? Like, that's I never knew that. Like, he's very good with AI and stuff, and we talked about it a lot, and I learned a lot of stuff. It's why also a really good advantage of me knowing the stuff in school, when we start learning about it, I already know everything about it because I've made a podcast with it and stuff. So I just know everything, which is why I'm also really good in English. I like expressing myself, and I've learned so much in the past and in my podcasts. I just make it into reality. I write it down, which is also something.
And it's super cool because at this point, like, you could actually make a podcast where you bring, professionals, doctors, entrepreneurs, and learn things that maybe you won't even learn in school because, it's too complicated at this point to be learned in school. And you're already grasping that information and having your own ideas and like meeting these people who you never know one day could be a great connection for you, So it's always good to make friends with such incredibly talented and intelligent people. So I'm very happy for you.
Yeah, thanks.
And so do you write poetry? Are you also creative in other aspects?
I love writing poetry, and I also love reading poetry and just reading in general. Like, I've always had a thing for reading. Like, it feels like I'm living in the book. Like, I just like, it's so satisfying to me. And
it's
like,
beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes when I'm grounded, my mom not only takes my phone, she takes my books.
You get grounded? For what?
A lot of reasons. I get grounded a lot.
Mom, why are you grounded?
Exactly.
Rateel?
Like, sometimes she's like overreacting with the grounding. Like, she grounds me every single day.
No. But listen, you're who you are thanks to her. So I suppose it's not that strict of a grounding. Or am I wrong?
I mean, she takes my phone.
Okay.
And then, like, she usually gives it in, like, 2 days.
No way. But it's okay. You go through detoxification. That's fine.
It's okay.
It's healthy for you.
Yeah, but it's okay. And sometimes she starts taking my books, so now I can't even read.
No, the books are for all. No.
Yeah, because she knows I love reading. She knows I'm going to see those. She takes my phone. I'm like, no problem. I have my books.
It's kind of like when you take away the PlayStation from the guys.
Exactly. my brothers go crazy. Like, there's a new download in this game. I have to go play it. I'm like,
nope. You're a bad boy. Nope.
Exactly.
But regarding poetry, so there's similarity we have. Like, I write poetry as well, and I love reading poetry. And something that when people always ask me, like, how, like, it's so complex, I always tell them, like, when you read a book, when you read a novel, I feel like there's a very specific storyline, and you can't necessarily emphasize as much. You can understand the characters, and you can, like, feel sorry for them, but it's very difficult for you to be placed in their position. Whereas when you read poetry, a certain piece of writing is created for you to feel a certain emotion.
Like you can relate to it.
And you can relate to it. So there's not a specific character line. There's no specific, it's just you reading it and feeling what you're feeling. And that's why, like, I bond so much more with poetry than, for example, with normal books. That, I feel like I was a bit older than you maybe when I started writing. I wrote my first poem when I was 16.
Oh.
And then it just kept coming, and I published my book. I was 20 at the time. Really nice. But yeah, it was kind of like, they're a bit depressing. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of like music. You always sit down and you write music and you play music when you have, why are all songs about love and about breakups and about, you know? So that emotion like that you feel when you're alone and when you're not necessarily super positive, writing helps a lot. So I don't know if that was the same case with you, but.
Yeah, it is. Like, I feel like when you want a good cry, you should read like a really sad poetry.
Yeah. It brings out crazy things out of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a very random question, but going back to your podcast and everything, is there something that you learned maybe about money that surprised you?
I learned that some people do stuff only for money.
Okay.
So like,
and you were surprised about that?
Yeah, like there's actually, I have two answers for this. This is not really related to podcast, but like, you know, like my works and everything. Like, let's say there's this one thing. Like I got you know, like partnership. Like for example, like a makeup brand. They're like, can you do a video and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like if it's good, if it's what I want and stuff, I do it. But some brands, like I tell you, I got maybe like 20 emails of a diaper brand wanting to collaborate. What am I gonna do? I don't have a baby sibling, or how am I gonna promote diapers? They're like, promote it. I'm like,
are you gonna be wearing the diaper?
Gonna wear it on my head. Like it's a cool like fashion thing, like a new trend. Everyone's gonna be like, what does this girl think she is? Like, is she like, can she not get a normal headband? And also,
sometimes people don't think.
Some brands, they just want you to advertisement. That's it. They don't care if it's a good way, bad way. They just want money and views and everything. So that's something I learned. I thought like people wanted the best for their business and brands, but some people don't. And regarding my podcast and money and stuff, investments. Me personally, I take my own money and invest it into some podcasts. Like I pay, like I invest it. I think of it as an investment, because when you, what is an investment? An investment is when you not buy something, like put your money on something and you know it's gonna come back to you, but a bigger amount.
Yeah.
So I invest in my podcast. I can invest in a crew. I invest in the camera and everything. And
it can always be better, right?
Exactly. And it's a really big investment. So I made investment is very important. Before, like when I was young and I didn't have a I'm still young, but when I was younger, I used to think that, you know, if you invest, the money's never going to come back to you. But it actually does come back to you. And it's important to invest something, especially if you're good at this thing and you invest to it more, it becomes even better. And then the money comes back to you. And not only the money, more ideas, more collaborations, more everything. So that's something I learned.
And you have such a pure energy just because you are still 13, you know, and it's crazy to say this, but at the same time, I feel like that energy that you put into your podcast is just so pure and so powerful. That makes it so powerful that 100% it's going to come back to you. Not even doubled or tripled. It will be quadrupled if not. But yeah, I'm super proud of you, honestly. But going back to the story, you've never finished. So you basically hated being on advertisements.
Exactly.
Sometimes even looking ugly and being quiet. And you were just like, I don't want to do this in life. I'm not just a pretty face that's supposed to be on camera. So that click happened there, right?
And then I was like, I want to make my own content, but I wasn't exactly sure what do I want. At first, I wanted to, you know, make a movie, but a movie, you can't do it every day. You can't talk. You
already had social media at this point.
I had Instagram, but I was only posting my advertisements, and I didn't have TikTok.
Okay.
So advertisements, like when I was 11, 10, it was way back. So when I, like beginning of 12, this is when I realized I had to stop this. I was not sure. I wanted to make a movie, but you know, it takes, you can't just say I want to make a movie and then expect people to come and make this movie reality. Like there has to be a client, an idea, writing.
A lot of money.
It takes years, money, traveling back and forth. And I wanted to talk. I didn't want to act. So I was like, okay, what do I do? At this point, I didn't know what a podcast was. So I was searching and I saw podcasts. I was like, okay. I saw people
I just need a mic and a camera.
I just knew that this thing was for me. I was made to talk on camera. I was made for this. I was like, this is perfect.
You felt it. It was there.
I felt it. You just need ideas in a camera. You can say whatever you want. There's nothing wrong or right. It's your opinion. and you could just say what you want and talk for hours and hours.
Right.
And I was like, I want to do this. But when I told my mom about it, she was like, what in the world is this girl going to do to me? She's going to give me a heart attack.
Right.
Like, she doesn't know what I'm going to do to her. So she didn't want to hurt my feelings and say like, no, you can't do this. She was like, bring me like a paper of the idea of why you want this podcast.
And what are you going to talk about?
What are you going to talk about?
Why world do you want to talk about?
I gave her a paper. I wrote the name, Rateel Alpha Talk. Rateel from my name, Alpha, my generation, Talk, because I'm talking. And
simple as that.
Simple as that. Gentlemen. We don't need to, make it like a chunka chicken, like a whole like sentence word. Like no. And then I gave her exactly. Then I gave her the ideas, what I want, what my goal is, to inspire people to be different, be initiative, don't follow the crowd. She was like, this girl's onto something. Okay, I'll help her in some way. She's like, okay, I'm gonna find a sponsor. 18 and above, 18 and above, 18 and above. Nothing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No one wanted to sponsor me. Even though they said the idea was nice. They were like, this is such a good idea. They'd come back to us. We can't because you're under 18. And then I remember my mom coming into my room and she's like, Rateel, you can't do this. There's no sponsor. I'm like, sponsor? I'll do it in my room here. She was like, what is this girl going to do with me next?
Oh my God.
And then she was
you
like...
just kept fighting for what you want.
Exactly.
That's so beautiful.
She was like, you know what? Okay, I'll try helping her record. Came in my room. I have a couch in my room and a background. I fixed it, made sure I look good, not in the commercials that they make me look ugly in. And then
you did your own makeup, your own
my
hair.
own makeup, my own hair, my own ideas. So I wanted a guest, and I couldn't. It was my first ever podcast. I was no one. I was still beginning. So I emailed Dr. Abdullah, the one who was so smart. They had to give him a Saudi nationality. He was no. That was my second podcast. My first ever podcast wasn't even with a human.
What do you mean?
It was with a robot. It was
you
AI.
spoke to an AI robot on your first podcast.
Yeah, and then my mom was like, "You're replacing yourself already?" I'm like, "No one could replace me. This is just a challenge."
And how did that go?
It went nice. It was actually amazing. But one thing is, that episode was really tiring. No one really knows how tiring it is making a podcast. They think you open a camera. Oh, you want to be my podcast? Come in. You're invited.
Tell me about it.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
That is so not it. Here's a cameraman, head on, he's working hard. He's making sure everything's good. The volume, everything, the mic. And then you have to bring people, you have to write the script, the ideas, the background, fix it. Maybe this doesn't, it's not too simple. You have to make sure the lighting, the lighting's very hard, guys. When I especially learned this when I see the advertisements, they maybe take 2 hours for the setup and lighting. I'm like, when are these people going to finish?
But do you know on professional sets, I'm sure you do, they have the gaffers, they actually have a specified person that deals with only light.
Only light.
Yeah.
There's people with only microphones, actually. But, some people who do light, they also do microphones, so... But it's very hard, and when you talk, you have to make sure it's quality over
quantity.
Yeah. Because if you're just doing a podcast just to post something for likes and views, you're not gonna get likes and views. It has to be something actually good.
Of course.
I would rather, for me personally, I post a podcast maybe every 1 month or 2 months rather than every single week. Because if I do every single week, I know I'm gonna be too pressured, and podcasts take a long time. I also have an editor who's in Egypt, and we have to send some stuff back and forth. He has to, send the video in a high quality. We can't send him on WhatsApp or
first draft, second draft,
second draft. And sometimes I film a podcast and I'm not even wearing the mic and I have to repeat it because they can't hear me. And a funny story: when I used to film in my house, my podcast, I filmed one podcast was 2 days. 1 day I filmed, and then the other day I went and got tanned, and now I became tan. And then so one I'm white, and then the other I'm tan. They're like, "What is this girl? Is she changing skin colors every 2 seconds?" I'm like,
or she has a twin sister.
Does she have a twin sister? Okay. It's very hectic, and especially,
trust me, I feel you though.
It's very hectic, yes. And especially because we're filming in my house. I have a family. My mom has to make sure, Ahmed Salman, be quiet, we're filming. And then my dad does not stop talking when we film. He doesn't talk when we don't film. He only starts talking when we film.
You inspire him to talk.
He's like, how are you, my friend? He starts talking to his friend that he met 10 years ago. Hey, do you want to...
Specifically when you start filming your
and he
podcast.
Can't stop coughing. He starts asking my mom, where did you put my clothes? Where did you put this? I'm like, oh my gosh. When I have to film, when I'm filming, you could ask me another day. I don't understand. So
you can literally build your own garage and just film there, I suppose. Just have your own space, because
but I can't. It's only in my room. The living room, my brothers are there.
You're still in your living room. Sorry, you're still in your room
now. I've upgraded. I'm actually everything in a setup. I have a director, like a cameraman.
Beautiful.
And if I've upgraded them, now people want to sponsor me, but I don't usually say yes to the sponsors because some sponsors.
Oh, now they want to sponsor.
Now they want to sponsor me. Now, no, it doesn't need to be 18 and above. I never knew that, but now they want to sponsor me, but I say no because some.
Is it those same guys that you asked before?
Some same guys and like some different.
No way.
I know.
That's sad.
It's kind of embarrassing for them.
Oh, you don't need them no more.
Exactly. I don't need them. And it's also like I don't say yes to some sponsors because some sponsors, they want me to stay to a certain script. And I don't like staying to scripts. I like being natural. My podcast is natural. Like some clips in my podcast, like it's natural. Like it's all natural.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like now we're natural. We didn't like meet up like 2 times in a week to make sure exactly what we're going to say.
Nope, guys, we did not meet up.
We did not. I just met up like a couple of minutes ago or hours ago. I don't know how long this is, but.
We just met.
Yeah.
Right.
It's natural. And
any other challenges that you would say you faced?
Definitely.
And while filming now in the studio, when everything is, professional, advanced, you have a crew, what would you say are kind of like the main challenges that you're facing too?
I definitely had challenges when I was not professional. The challenges were it took a lot of like trust and credibility to show them that I had to prove to them that I could do this. They think that I'm only 13, my age, you can't do anything. I had to prove to them that just because I'm 13 doesn't mean I can't do this, which is something it was really hard to like. It was not hard to prove, but like they thought that like I was lying. This is not my real self, but this is my real self, guys. Like I don't like pretending to be someone who I'm not. This is the real me.
Yeah. Whoever you are behind the mic, it's who you are in real life. And
exactly.
I hate it when people tell me, oh, you're in the media, you're on camera, you have to have a professional face and then you're private.
There is no professional face. This is my everyday face that I was born with. So.
Literally, this is me. Like,
this is me.
No, it's super important to do things constantly, never give up. And at the end of the day, like, it's going to get super hectic, especially during filming moments, during podcasts. But it's important to, as you said, have that goal.
Exactly.
And kind of just focus on that. But I wanted to ask you, since, you have, how many followers do you have on TikTok now?
Like 500K.
Oh my god. Instagram was also like 400 something.
Yeah, I don't memorize it. They're pretty much the same, like 500K.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Are there any cool like tools or apps that you use to kind of manage your social media that you can give at the top of your head, or is just
fun fact?
You post?
No, I actually manage it, but I manage it myself. Like I respond to some people.
I saw you very responsive.
Yeah, and I post stories, but my mom obviously has my account, my Instagram account on her phone, so like she just checks after me, makes sure I didn't do anything wrong or something, or posting it. She's like, I'm 13 and stuff, but there has to be someone who's like making sure you're doing well and stuff, either your mom, a manager, and yeah, she's just helping me with this, she's making sure everything's good. I don't usually use an app, I just post normally and stuff. I don't know, if there's an app I would, be willing to try it, but I don't use any apps.
Okay, because I was thinking maybe like you use CapCut for TikTok.
Oh yeah, CapCut. Like I like edit some videos, but like not,
Okay.
Yeah.
That you don't overuse it.
I don't overuse it.
Now, there's a question that I always ask everyone at the end of my podcast, which is, all these CEOs and founders, if I were to give you a time machine and you can go back in time, always tell a younger version of yourself. For you, I think I'm going to do the opposite way. Where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years? Like, what image do you have in your head of who you want to be, let's say, when we meet again in, let's say, 20 years? Hopefully we'll meet before that, but...
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, in 20 years' time, who do you see yourself as?
Hypothetical question. Okay. Honestly, I don't know what I would be doing, but what I do know is I'm sure of it, because when I grew up, I want to inspire the younger generations and telling them that you should start being curious, because curiosity made this happen. Like Rateel Alpha Talk was born from curiosity. If I was never curious, I would have never be sitting right here in Dubai this time. I would probably be in my room doing something else.
Doing your homework.
Because curiosity is very important. It's so boring to stay in with the limits of what you already know. It's way nicer to explore things and be curious and initiative. Because if you, let's say, go to a company and you're looking for work, let's say, and if they see that you're curious, you're full of life, you're happy, they'll be like, this is a great person for our working environment.
Right.
If you're just like, okay, okay, I'm ready, I'll come tomorrow 7, they're gonna be like, she isn't gonna bring anything to us.
Right.
So it's important to be curious, initiative, like don't underestimate yourself. And I just want to bridge the gap between the generations and let them know that we are capable of everything. We are capable, and we're the future generation. As I said, we can make the future a better place, and we could make the planet a better place where there's pollution and all the waste. Maybe we could find a solution for it. There's so many wars and different things. We could maybe find a solution for it. We can find solutions for different things. We just need the older generations to help us and support us with this, because we need adults' help, and we want them to make us feel included.
That's a beautiful way to end this podcast, honestly. Like, I have teardrops in my eyes, but it's important, yes, for the older generations to just calm down and trust us, trust the Alpha generation, trust the Gen Z generation, and understand that, you guys are the future.
Exactly.
We are
At
the
the end
future.
of the day, it's not a competition which generation is better. We're all humans. We're all living in this planet, and we all want to help each other, and we all want to, just be there for each other. And instead of fighting which generation's better, which generation's worse, no one is better or worse. We could just bridge the gap. We can become together and become like a team.
And it's the more people like you exist in this world that, have this pure energy and love and peace, that they're just vibrating. I feel it just sitting across of you. Like, it would have been a much more beautiful world, that we live in. So I really hope that you aspire more and more people, especially from your generation, to become who you are. And hopefully we're going to see a better world in a decade's time. Well, Rateel, thank you so much for today. I do have a couple of audience questions for you.
Yeah, of course.
We don't have much time, but let me ask you one that Fatima wrote. She asks, what do you think is the most important skill for an entrepreneur your age? What would you answer to this question?
For me, entrepreneurship is not only about starting a business. It's also about what you have to put out there for everyone. So for me, what's really important is not just starting the business to, get money, or, I'm going to make a business, I'm going to be in entrepreneurship just for this, just for that. You actually have to have a good deed. You actually have to prove that your business is not just any business. Like, there are some entrepreneurships who, like, they're young and they're starting a business, but you feel like you're talking to someone who's older. They have so much experience. So another thing is you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset while going into this. You can't just think about money. Sometimes money is everything, I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes you have to just forget about it and think about different stuff. You have to take your ideas and put
certain
it
characteristics. Yeah,
it's not about money. Like, you have to have certain characteristics and have the courage to do it. And the most important thing in entrepreneurship should have is to step outside their comfort zone and bring their ideas into real life. Like, you can't just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this and never do it. Like, you're proving yourself wrong, that you could do this and you're worthy of it, and don't doubt yourself. Some people, they don't want to start a business because they think they're going to fail or they're not going to do this. You're never going to know if you're going to fail or not, because you didn't try. You have to try to find out. And even if you do fail, you can try it again and again. Like, failing is a part of life. If you don't fail, you'll not learn from your mistake the next time. So,
of course,
failing is a good thing.
Of course.
So you can learn from it.
We get up. Babies, they fall when they start walking, and then get back up again, and they're fine.
They're falling, they're getting up, then they learn how to walk. And
it's a metaphor.
It's a process of life.
Literally. Anyways, Rateel, it was absolutely beautiful having you here, and an honor to meet you, because at such a young age, I cannot wait to even see where you're gonna go in the next 10 years. And you have a friend in Dubai, and I cannot wait to see where you're gonna head on towards next. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much. I loved being here, and I loved talking to like an older version of myself.
Oh, I did see a lot of similarities between us when I was your age.
So we both have similarities.
Yes. I can't wait to continue this friendship that we built and see where you're gonna go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up our conversation with the incredible Rateel. At just 13, she's already achieved so much and continues, to inspire others with her creativity, with her confidence, and her vision. It's clear that her journey is only the beginning, and honestly, I can't wait to see where it takes her next. Like, share, and comment your thoughts on this episode, and stay tuned to Entrepreneur TV Middle East for more inspiring stories. Until then, you know the drill. Keep innovating, keep evolving, and keep reshaping the future. With you was Mina Vucic.